Hi there, I'm Scott Dunbar. I'm Senior Vice President of Engineering Enablement at Sportradar. Sportradar is the world's leading sports technology and data company with offices across the world. We have an amazing product portfolio from leading-edge computer vision technology down to very complex and finely tuned odds, quants, and alpha models across our managed trading services, our audiovisual and OT services, marketing and media. Needless to say, there's an incredible amount of complexity in that estate. My team is passionate about development complexity and removing complexity in our software delivery lifecycle. The results that we've seen with Cortex so far is a general change in culture, really, around our 1,100 or so engineers, where historically they of course had to interface with multiple tools and multiple services in order to do their job. And today they're coming to a single tool, and this is starting to unify all of that complexity down to a single sort of developer homepage. It's become the sort of one-stop shop for how our developers consume their environment. We chose Cortex because we get a sense that Cortex was built for developers by developers, and that was a very easy decision for us moving forward. My favorite feature as a person who's come from a rich sort of DevOps background is obviously in automation, right? So we love the scaffolding capabilities and the ability to tie scaffolding with our service catalog at Sportradar. The idea here is that a developer who's wanting to start a brand new project, let's say for example they need Spring Boot, they need an RDS database and they want to run their workload on Kubernetes, they can just go to the catalog, select what they need. Cortex is bootstrapping that entire project from scratch, saving countless hours and obviously a lot of complexity. Pre-Cortex world, we had an incredible amount of complexity assigning unique service identifiers to all of our hundreds or if not thousands of services. Obviously, we need that unique service identifier because we need to understand precisely which service has triggered an alert. And so historically, a team of architects would sit there debating over the right service key to allocate to a particular service. As developers got more involved with Cortex, we found that the service key assignment was organically managed by the development community themselves. And so this concept of voluntary standardization, I think, really stands out. We no longer had to worry about unique service keys mapping to all of these services, and the community just started looking after that themselves, which is really fantastic. One example of how Cortex has saved us an incredible amount of time is the ability for developers to just bootstrap a relational database. That database has all of our security and compliance requirements baked in, and we estimate about 2 years worth of complexity removed from our engineering community. I think it's really important that organizations think about this very early on in their life cycle, quite frankly. When you grow to a certain size and you realize you have a problem with scale, it can be a little bit challenging to change the culture of how your engineers consume tooling. And so by baking Cortex into the problem statement early on, then you're driving that culture moving forward, and it becomes an organic and natural use of the tool. I'm confident that Cortex will remain completely instrumental to Sportradar's growth. There's a huge breadth of complexity there for our teams to continue to manage. Cortex is helping us drive a culture of engineering excellence by bringing all of the complexity in an engineer's life into one single consumable artifact, and really helping the engineer distill down all of the metrics, requirements, scorecards, measures that they need to think about in their daily work.